Hey crafty friends, this is Nye with All Things Were Created. So today we are working on our next crafting project, which is the pieces that I found over at my $1.25 store that they have these shapes out for Easter this year. And I've been looking for forever and I've been seeing them all over the internet and I couldn't find them at my store. And then I finally did. And so I picked them up. And so I'm finally getting a chance now to craft with them. So today we're going to be working on the carrot. And what I have here is this fun plaid paper that I found at, I think it was my local Hobby Lobby store. And so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to Mod Podge half of this carrot. These edges here are just quite numerous. And so I'm not going to do these edges and trying to sand in between all of these spaces here with my sanding block or even my emery board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do half of my carrot in this plaid, and then I'm going to paint the top part green. So I'm kind of coming in here with my paper, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use my pencil, hopefully if I can get in there, and I'm going to just kind of come along and just get right in that edge there. So that's good enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of cut it out here. And I'm going to move this piece off to the side because I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to just get in a little bit closer here with my scissors. I'm not going exact because I'm going to sand the edges down. And I don't need to be completely exact here. So there's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in. I'm going to add some Mod Podge right along there. And I'm going to add some twine here. So my Mod Podge is right here. I'm going to add some twine. I think I moved my twine. But I'm going to add some Mod Podge so I can glue my paper down. And I'm just going to come in with a line here because I really don't want to get Mod Podge on the top part because I'm going to paint that part green. And so I'm just kind of making a line. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I don't really have any clumps of my Mod Podge. So that way I don't get any wrinkles in my paper, because that can happen. So let me put this cap back on, get the paper down quickly before it dries on me. And there we go. That's good. And I'm pressing down along the edges here just to kind of get my paper to crease and to start. See, I left it up there. So that way, when I go in with my sanding block here, it's a little bit easier for me. So I'm just spreading out my paper, really pressing hard on it and giving the paper a chance to bond and to dry. All right. And so now I'm ready to, there we go, use my sanding block. So I've been using this now because I just did the chic. And so what I'm doing is I'm just really coming in, I'm going pretty hard. And I'm just taking off that excess. Just really kind of coming in there really hard. Get rid of all of the excess paper at the edge. And when I get up here into the top part of where the stem of the carrot is going to be, it's going to get a little harder because I've got a square sanding block and this is cornered. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of rip along here where it's already started to come off. And I'm going to use my emery board. So I have the special one that I use for crafting. And I'm going to use my emery board just to kind of really ooh, look, see, I wrapped it there. Oops. And use my emery board to really just kind of come in here and rip my paper for me. Well, that's okay because I'm going to add my wax at the end. so that will hide it for me. So same thing on the other side, just using that emery board to rip away that paper. And there we go. Let me grab this part. And, ooh, I really did a number there. That's okay. All right. Oh, I like this pattern. Very cool. Okay, so let me put this off to the side. I just was using that cardboard underneath, although I probably should keep it because I'm going to be painting. And I don't want to get it on my table here. So I've got this green Waverly chalk paint that I got in my local Walmart. This paint is really great. It's cheap too. Well, it used to be cheaper, but now with all of our inflation and everything, well, the price of it has really gone up. But it's still pretty cheap compared to other brands. But this one, it works really well and it's high coverage. So I'm just going to use my brush here and just kind of paint the stem of my carrot. And if I come in a little bit on my paper, it's going to be okay because I'm going to wrap some twine around here for my divider for my transition from my green to my paper. But that doesn't mean that I really want to do my best and get it everywhere either. So as you can see, it's really high coverage, this paint. It works really well for crafting and for painting projects. And I'm going to leave it at that. And it's fast drying too. So let me just get in a little bit more. I got a little bit of paint over there. But that's okay. And that's about all I'm going to do with this, with that green there. Okay, so I'm going to close this up and I'm going to move, I've got clumps of it coming off too. I'm going to move my cardboard now. All right, let me move this off to the side. And before I go on to my next part, I'm going to add a little bit of wax to the edge, especially because I got that one spot ripped a little bit here. So again, this is just the Waverly wax that I'm using, so you can see it here. I'm just adding it along the sides, or the edges, I should say. So I'm just going to come in along here. I'm going to come back into the corner with the like paintbrush one there. And even though I'm adding this, it's not as visible because of the paper, because there's black in the paper, and so it's not as visible, but it'll be enough to just hide a little bit and give it a little bit of a border there. All right. I don't really have to worry too much either because I'm going to add some twine right in here to kind of hide some of this. All right, that's good. And let me put the cap back on this one and move this out of the way, and let me grab my twine. And so I'm going to take a good bit here because I really want this transition to kind of be hidden behind my twine, so that way it's just not visible. And I need to find an end here. Here's one. My twine seems to have gotten a little messed up here. So I'm going to take a good bit. I'm going to probably use all of it. And that's probably enough. It's more than enough. All right. And I'm going to press this one right here. And all I'm going to do is just start wrapping it around. And I'm going to keep going. Really just, hopefully I'll end up here at the top, hiding that bottom part too, hiding this top. And oh, look, it ended up perfectly right there. Oh, couldn't have planned that better. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my hot glue. I'm going to add a little bit of glue right there and press that part down. And add a little bit on top just to kind of hold it. Hopefully that will hold it. And I have this bag of orange buttons. I'm going to stick an orange button right on top. I haven't decided, do I want to use, no, I think I'm going to use a solid one. Yep, I think I'm going to use the solid one, but I just have this bag of orange buttons, and so I'm going to stick this one right there on top of where my twine ended up. So I'm just going to press it. And this one, there we go. It's so cute, right? I love these crafts, and I love these little pieces that they have at the dollar store. It's perfect. All right, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. Enjoy.